Hey, what's up everybody? It's Thursday on Genderqueer Chat. This week's topic is brought to us by Christina, and it is about dysphoria, and it's a two-part question. The first part being, do you feel dysphoria? The second part is, how do you view your traditional masculine or feminine, like male or female body parts? Do you see them as being masculine or feminine, or do you see them as being androgynous type, non-gendered? So I guess the answer is yes, I do feel dysphoria. I have periods where it's really bad, and then periods where it's not really bad. The periods where it's not really bad, I'm not sort of enjoying what I've got. I'm more just not thinking about it, and it's just not, like, right up in my mind. The periods when it's really bad, I haven't had one of those for a while now. It's usually sort of more brought on by being forced to look at, myself or my body in a way that, because somebody else has looked at it and, is treating me like, like a female, like very feminine, and, telling me that I look a certain way or all that kind of stuff. And then I start thinking about it and kind of worrying about it, but for the most part, I don't really think about it all that much. This is a relatively, within the last few years, relatively recent, because I've spent a lot of time thinking about my body, and feeling dysphoria and all of that. I've spent a lot of time, up until a couple of years ago, just almost obsessively thinking about it and feeling uncomfortable, and yeah. But the dysphoria has kind of changed over the years. It's kind of, it's sort of awkward to talk about because it's going out on the internet, and like once it's out there for everybody. But I feel like because it might, it might do somebody some good to kind of hear this, because, maybe somebody can relate to it and feel less alone. So I'm just going to say it. In my dreams, the first time I remember a dream in which I had a penis, I was probably about 12, maybe like 11, 12, like that kind of age. No, I was probably, yeah. And I often dream that, often in my dreams, I don't dream that I have a penis, I just, in my dreams, that is a body part that I have, and I know what it feels like because the dreams, it feels real, and, I wake up confused that that's not what I have. So, that kind of sucks. Does that make me trans? I don't know, maybe. But I don't always feel that way. Often in my waking hours, I do, but I sort of, again, like I just sort of don't think about it. I have issues, like, in terms of having, all of the things that go along with having a female body, such as ovulation and menstruation and all of that stuff. I hate it, but I don't, like, it sucks, but it doesn't, it doesn't send me into this, like, terrible, dysphoric whatever. I think I probably just hate it a similar amount as, the majority of female-bodied people do, because it's painful and it sucks. I think that, again, like, a lot of the dysphoria that I felt has come from other people viewing me in a certain way, and me not being able to, relate to the way that other people would relate to me. I actually have a little drawing that I drew when I was probably about sort of 17-ish. This is really embarrassing, but my point of showing this is just to show you guys sort of the difference between what other people see and how I view myself, or how back in the day when I used to sort of be more, feminine or female or whatever. This, like, when people would treat me like I was a girl, and when people would treat me like I was, this feminine whatever creature, I was really uncomfortable with that. And this is how I felt. All day, every day, this is how I felt. That's horrible. Obviously, I didn't actually look like that, but I felt like I did. And is that sort of your typical, all teenagers are uncomfortable in their own skin and all of that? Or is it because of all of that gendered stuff? And I think that it's probably a combination. I felt so uncomfortable being viewed as female, and that often would trigger a lot of the physical dysphoria with my lower half. And the other thing that I get really dysphoric about is my hips, and I am really, really uncomfortable with having hips, with having, luckily I'm not as curvy as I could be, and if I were to, go on a diet or something, I could probably, go on a diet and go to the gym, I could probably have the body type that I could shape to be, less hippie. But it's kind of hard. Like, it sucks, like, I try just not to think about it, and that's how I deal with it. And I know that's not, it doesn't fix anything, but it's how I deal with it. And I've come to a point where I can be okay enough in my own skin because, and this is the second part of the question, I don't see myself as being particularly feminine because I don't think of myself in that way. And if I don't have other people pointing it out to me, or, telling me how feminine I am, or blah, 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 like all that kind of crap, if I don't have that, then my own sort of narrative of what I am sort of is what plays in my head, and what sort of, goes through my psyche and all of that. And to me, I'm just this non-gendered creature, and my body parts that might be considered feminine, I don't feel feminine, so I don't really feel like my body parts are feminine. But I understand that biology is biology, but, assigning gender based on biology, we all know, is not exactly correct. It's not, that's not really how it works. So it's kind of, I just see myself as this androgynous creature, and that's how it is. I still get periods of feeling really anxious, but it's not that bad anymore. I've kind of just learned to accept, just accept it, and, everybody has things about themselves that they don't like, and, my thing isn't, it just happens to not be like, that it's hard to lose weight, or, various things that people deal with. My thing just happens to be that I don't have a penis. That's kind of it. So, yeah. Anyway, see you next week.